Annyeong, it's Mikey here, and today we're coming back to you with another Switch video, which this time we have to thank Unikeys for sending out the Wingtree Camellia. They sent me out a bunch of other Switches as well, but this was the one that had the most interest because I think a lot of people were actually curious what this sounds like and what this is like. So we're going to have to put this and compare it with the different boards I have, and of course, really do the measurements and check it out more. So please make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. Now introducing the Wingtree Camellia. Now keep in mind, I have the factory lube version. I really did want to try out the dry version, but unfortunately it's out of stock, so let's do this one first and I'll do dries later. So one thing I felt with the lubed or the factory lubed Wingtree Camellia is that these switches are actually quite smooth. So people have been saying that the stock version is very scratchy. Yeah, no, these ones are very smooth, and I was quite surprised with that. Overall, they actually sound very clacky. Like you get a very high pitch and loud clack from it. And my apologies, guys, that you keep seeing my head pop into frame little by little. It's just lately the framing has been tough. Now the travel. So we have 17.9 to 13.9, which is a full travel switch. So it's 4mm travel, which is really cool. And overall, I think I personally prefer full travel over other types of switches. These switches in general have been very well done. I think Wingtree is really coming up, and I really like this Camellia switch. It has a very nice sound to it, and as you'll see here with the bottom housing, the leaves are not really lubed much. It says here that they're supposed to be factory lubed, but I didn't really see it much. And even when you guys see a close up here, you can't really see that there is much lube on there. It's like a very tiny amount that's very hard to see. But overall, these factory lubes versions are very smooth. You really don't get any scratch with them when you are typing on them. Now the spring. So it's a single stage spring, and the ones that I received is a 19mm spring. There is a 20mm spring version for the 52 gram bottom mount. Mine were not the 52 grams. So you actually probably get a slightly different type of experience with the 52 grams, and hopefully I can get some that is actually dry. Now the stem itself. So the stem, you can see here the factory looping that is done. It's actually pretty decent. It's not going to be heavily looped, very light, but you really don't have to loop these over at all. These are going to be perfectly fine stock, and you will actually get a very nice experience out of it. Though the dry versions compared to this is actually going to be very different, and I'm curious if hand looping the dry versions would actually become similar to this one, or if it also have a slightly different feel to it as well. But you can really see that they've looped around the whole stem and even the contact points for the stem with the leaf as well. Now, I really felt that Wingtree Camellias is a switch that a lot of people are going to enjoy, especially those that maybe have wanted to try something new and something different. These definitely felt like they were something a little bit interesting. Now, in terms of the decibels, these are not quiet switches. They're actually going to be on the louder end compared to, say, some of the other switches out there that we've tried. I would say that they're going to be like very close to the vacuum level of decibels, so like 70 decibels, which means they're going to be quite loud. Like if you're going to try to use this in a office space, you're not going to have any fun, and you're probably going to get some noise complaints. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, checking out the actual feel of the switches and the actuation. So these switches, when you do go slow, the factory loop, you can actually start feeling the scratch. It's very interesting where you do feel that scratch a little bit. In general, you're not going to get a lot of that actual actuation pressure, say with a longer spring. You actually can feel it quite late and see it go down very smoothly for these switches. Now, in terms of the stem wobble, so the top end, you're actually getting almost none in terms of the actual wobbling, and then once you do press down on the switch itself, you're going to get a little bit of the stem wobble. You'll see right there's a little bit of movement, but I'd have to say compared to the other Wingtrees that we've tried so far, these are probably the best ones in terms of having very little stem wobble overall. So you will enjoy these, but if you're very sensitive, you can feel it a little bit. And in terms of the backlighting, these are going to be very good. I was quite surprised. They're actually very close to the Keybay Rise switches, which you can see all the lighting is very accurate. You're getting a perfect light come through, and you're going to have zero issues. Now, this is the spreadsheet which we put it into, which, by the way, if you do want access to these spreadsheets, you can join my Discord channel. Links are in the description, where you can actually get access and see these spreadsheets. Now, my spreadsheets aren't going to be perfect, but at least it gives you kind of an anchor point as well as a sound test, so you can kind of get an idea of where it's going to be at. Now, these ones, the Wingtree Camellias, I would say is going to be on like the light, bright clacky. They're not going to be super high pitch clack like, say, the Cheese V2s or the Keybay B1s, but these have a decent clack to them. I would say they're very close to the Wingtree VDVs that I did recently, as well as the HMX Yamatake. They're going to be a similar tone to them with a pitch in terms of the clack, and overall, I think these ones are a little bit better though. Out of the comparisons, I think these are very nice switches.
So the Camellia from Wingtree. What are my thoughts on it? It's that it's not as scratchy as much people will think about it. So I know that there has been some people saying that it's supposed to be like a scratchy switch, kind of like the cherry switches, but I'm gonna be honest, it's not as scratchy as you think it might be. It's actually quite smooth compared to, say, like the cherries or even the TTC PT Black that I recently did. It has a nice clack though. So it's sound-wise, you're going to get a much clearer clack compared to the other two. And overall, it's a very nice switch. I actually really like it because of the full travel, and it feels very nice to type on. I will have the links in the description for you guys. You can go check it out yourselves. And of course, save 7% using the code Mikey at Unikeys. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys go check out the other videos I got. And I have to catch you guys next time.